known as the Hornet's Nest, and one gang rules here.
Yeah, Valley. This all we do is run bowls and get this money.
The Hidden Valley Kings have taken over Charlotte's streets by any means necessary.
They were protected by turtle. You come wrong, you don't get your head knocked off.
Power, money, greed, these things begin to take over.
They've been pushed to the brink of extinction.
The Hidden Valley Kings had the potential to be some of the largest money makers in the city of Charlotte.
But you can't ever really kill a king.
Kings ain't dead, we still kings, you hear me? And we still out here, they ain't stopping. They ain't gonna never stop that.
Snitches get stitches all day. They do get dealt with.
Gangland.
Charlotte, North Carolina, nicknamed the Queen City. Headquarters to some of the nation's largest banks, fastest tracks, and old money. This traditional southern city has doubled in size in the last 2 decades. The city has paid for its growth. Charlotte has a crime rate that's twice the national average, and the gang culture to match it.
Back to the hood. Back to the hood. You know, in the streets all day.
There are over 150 gangs in Charlotte, separate gangs. Some of them are homegrown, some of them are national gangs.
We getting down here. I'm telling you, just come around here talking to see what you get.
This gang problem in Charlotte is just growing.
From that H-I-double-D, he in the valley. With that H-I-double-D, he in the valley. With that H-I-double-D.
The most notorious hometown gang in Charlotte can be found northeast of the city, in a neighborhood called Hidden Valley.
It's the dirty South, North Carolina, for real.
The area has fairy tale street names like Cinderella Road and Snow White Lane. It looks like an ideal place to live. But laying claim to this kingdom is a street gang with a business model all its own. In Charlotte, the notorious Hidden Valley Kings rule.
Every man is his own king, you know what I'm saying? A king is royalty. That's what a king is. Supreme rule royalty. That's top dog. Ain't nobody with him.
Yeah, Valley Kings, back on the block, down to the hood, got the YG, in the little Taliban.
One neighborhood is responsible for putting Charlotte on the map as having one of the most notorious gangs in our city, Hidden Valley, the hood I'm from. Ha! Damn, who would have thought that?
Damian Hill, a.k.a. D-Block, joined the Hidden Valley Kings when he was in high school. He quickly became a well-armed teenage drug dealer.
There's been times where I go to school with my dope, with my pistol, have my pistol in the pocket of my folder, put it in my locker. When I leave school, all I gotta do is hit the block. I ain't gotta go check in with Grandma. Grandma ain't gonna tell me to wash dishes today. I'm going straight to the block.
The cash he made dealing changed his life.
And so weekly, we bringing in, like, as high school kids, bringing in $3,500, $4,500 a week. That's a lot of money. That money changed people. You know what I'm saying? They felt like they had the power. They felt like they had the respect. You couldn't tell them nothing.
In Charlotte, the Hidden Valley Kings control the sales of cocaine, crack, marijuana, and ecstasy.
I'm gonna tell y'all how we import pure cocaine product. 141 grams, listen to me. 155 grams, listen to me. That's over a quarter brick. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, don't with us, and we back this here valley for life.
The gang uses brutal force to stay on top.
They've controlled it through acts of fear, violence, intimidation.
Anybody can get it. Got that 10 days right here. This here down. That's what we be doing, the soiling.
The Hidden Valley Kings had a multitude of guns, I guess you would say. The one that they usually had was generally 9mm, 380, 40 cal. They seem to be impressed with trying to carry the same gun as the police department.
That's how we do it.
I done seen guns so big, I didn't even know they was guns. I'm like, what the hell is that? Yeah, 50 cal machine gun. Look like the one you get off the top of a Hummer. I'm like in the Army with the chain bullets.
The HVKs have another advantage in protecting their drug empire. The hood's unique layout makes it easy to spot outsiders.
The reputation of the gang is, if you're not from Hidden Valley, you don't go to Hidden Valley. Other gangs don't venture into Hidden Valley.
We're gonna hold this down, and we ain't gonna let nobody try to come in here and take this. We just gonna hold this down. Them bullets burn.
People knowing that much dope is coming up out of there, they gonna try to come in and take that. So with that, you come in trying to take it, it's gunplay.
The maze of dead-end streets presents a problem for police.
There's very few entrances. The way it's laid out, all the roads are curvy, it's hilly, it's very hard to do surveillance, and it's also easy for them to see you coming and to disappear before you ever get there.
Police be wanting to, trying to find out, you know what I'm saying, what we doing, where we going to. We dipping on them at all times. They don't know the streets like we do, you know what I'm saying? Straight like that.
You can jump this fence and be in a whole nother area of the valley.
It also gives former gang members who have grown up in the valley, like Sharon Barnett, an advantage when being chased.
If you knew the valley well, then your movement in the valley was just swift. I mean, you knew that I can jump behind this fence and I can be in a whole nother section of the valley, opposed if you're an officer, then you in a car, you got to drive around.
There are officers who have worked there for years that couldn't tell you the next street over when they get in a foot chase.
This ability to escape has made the Hidden Valley Kings feel invincible. For years, their turf was so secure that they didn't mark it.
They've had such a stranglehold on the community for so long, they don't need it. Their reputation speaks for itself. You don't need to tag up HVK on a wall when everybody knows you own it anyway.
HV all day.
But as the Hidden Valley Kings would soon find out, even the strongest empires are vulnerable. One ruthless shooting would threaten to bring the entire gang down. May 22nd, 2005. It was a busy night at Rack Runners, a bar and pool hall.
Once you come in, if you ain't from the hood, I mean, automatically you're gonna feel like an outsider. They're gonna make you feel like an outsider. It wasn't nothing but Hidden Valley Kings that represented that little pool hall.
This security footage shows plenty of HVKs in the house. Among them, 20-year-old Jermaine Massey, a.k.a. J-Rock. 25-year-old Samuel Brown wasn't a known gangster, but Massey immediately picked him out.
When Massey walked into the bar, they stared at each other for a little bit, and Massey made the comment, "I'm going to kill somebody tonight."
Just 15 minutes before closing time, a scuffle broke out when Sam Brown put a cigarette out in someone's drink. Brown then pulled a gun out of his waistband and fired shots into the ground. J-Rock pulled out his own gun in response.
At certain points of the video, you can see where our victim is on the ground. He's already been shot, but that he does raise a handgun and fire in the general direction where we believe Massey was running at the time. Not long after that, you see basically a mad scramble inside the bar. Patrons running to get outside the establishment. You see Massey going towards the exit of the door. He actually reaches back and you can see him in the video with a gun in his hand.
J-Rock